Today I'm going to be giving you a very quick tip about shelves that are in an angled alcove thing. Welcome back to Gosforth Handyman, and thank you, first of all, to all you wonderful people out there who have helped me get past the 2,000 subscriber milestone, which is just awesome. I had no idea that anyone would ever watch any of these videos, and the channel's just growing much quicker than I thought it would, to be honest. I had no idea that I would hit the 2,000 mark this year, to be honest. Looking at the growth stats, the channel's grown at a really good rate, so I'm very happy about that. Especially to everyone who's been following us from the outset and has been commenting and liking my videos and watching my videos apart from anything else. Yeah, thank you to everyone. That's a really awesome thing. There was no tip video last week because you probably saw like a 2-part time-lapse video of a computer desk build that I'd been working on, and that took forever to edit. I have also changed over the spotlights in this side of the room over to warm white from cool white. Now, I have no idea whether it's going to make any difference to the videos or not, but before, you see me fluorescent lights or the high frequency batons or whatever they are, they're supposed to be cool white, but in comparison to the cool white spots that I had, they looked really warm, and I thought it was confusing the camera. I had a lot of strange issues with video. I do a little bit of manual tweaking of contrast and stuff like that, but I don't really know very much about color correction in videos and things like that, so it's something that maybe I need to read up on. Anyway, I've also been building this router table. I had a router table before, but it was just terrible. I wanted to make something that's going to last us a bit longer, be a bit more robust, a bit more suitable for some of the bigger bits that I use in it. So this is quite a beast of a router table, but I'm quite looking forward to getting that all finished. It's nearly done. I still need to do the power and NVR thing, which I might do a video on. I'm not going to do a video on the build of the router table because there's a billion router table build videos out there that you can watch. This is like a benchtop router table, by the way. I'll talk you through it on a different video. Once it's all finished, I'll give you a complete guided tour of me super duper new router table. It's going to absolutely rock once it's done, but it's not finished yet. What else has been happening? Loads of other stuff's been happening, but let's talk about this week's tip. And this week's tip, it kind of goes in line with another video that I'm in the middle of editing at the minute. It's a walk-in wardrobe type thing, and there will be a time-lapse of it at some point if I ever get that done. One of the things that I had to sort out as part of this build was having floating shelves, bog standard floating shelves, which I make all the time, but fitting into an alcove where the walls are effectively kind of like that kind of shape, does that make sense? I'm going to go to the board. So imagine looking face on at an alcove, and you've got, as is often the case, an alcove that's in a loft area where you've got the pitch of the roof to kind of deal with. And so we're looking face on. Imagine we've got shelves across like that, and then you get to this shelf here. What do you do? And this is a common problem, and you've got kind of a few different options on how to deal with this. Because for these shelves, they're easy. You just build a framework around, and effectively the wall is supporting the shelves. All the force, so if you imagine you're putting a brace in here and here, here and here, here and here, and they're kind of screwed or glued into the wall or whatever, but all the force is going down like that. But here, you've got a bit of a problem. This bit of whatever it is, ceiling, is often either very thin plasterboard, or it could be Latin plaster, it could be anything. But generally, it's terrible for attaching stuff into. So you can't really rely on just putting a brace here and hoping for the best, because apart from anything else, you almost need to view it more like attaching something to a ceiling rather than attaching something to a wall, because it is effectively a ceiling. It's part of your apex of the roof. How to deal with floating shelves in this kind of scenario, and I'll give you a few different ways that you can handle that. So first of all, and it kind of depends on a number of things. It depends on how big the shelves are going to be, what the ceiling's made out of. So here's your angled alcove. So your first option is to just attach a brace straight into that, or at an angle if you want, and hope that that's going to hold. The problem is, as I say, you don't know what this is made of, and it's normally rubbish for attaching anything into. That'll kind of work if you glue it as well, I suppose, but it's not great. So another option is to make a piece of wood and attach it onto here. Oh, let me just start that again. And put some dados in the piece of wood and then slide your shelf into the dados. So what you basically do, here's your ceiling alcove, and you get a bit of wood and you put angled dados in, like that. And then you slide your shelf into your angled dados. That's a bit of a chew on. So an easier way, here's your alcove, is to get a bit of wood, like MDF, 18mm MDF or something like that, and screw that into your alcove. And if you cut these ends at an angle, then you can rest your bracing, or you can rest your entire shelf onto that. And you can do it as a kind of almost like a false dado thing, where you've got one shelf there and another one like that, you see. And you can do that all the way up, where you've just got these bits of wood cut at an angle, and then you can put your face frame over that to cover it up, and then no one would ever really know that it's there. If you're going to be painting it, that is probably the easiest and strongest way of doing it. So another option really is to build a unit and just slide that into the alcove, because if you build this as a single triangular unit off-site or even on-site, but then you can put fixings in from this side through into your shelves, and then you can just screw your entire unit onto the wall, fill those holes or put screw caps over them or whatever. What you can also do, if you want no visible screws, is to screw through and then put a backing board over each shelf at the back. That's another option as well. But to do it as a unit for smaller areas is the easiest way of doing it. But for bigger alcoves, that's not really practical. If you're going to have to build a huge unit and then lift it into place and try and hold it up while you're screwing it into the wall, especially if you're working by yourself. So that's good for smaller angled alcoves. But as I say, for bigger angled alcoves, the easier thing is the dado, kind of false dado thing that I was talking about before. And you can see on this one where all I've done is I've attached one piece of wood in, and that's glued and screwed onto the ceiling, and that then spreads the load of that bit of wood, and obviously that's then taking all of the downward force of the shelf above it as well. So you screw and glue that in. That bit of wood, then you can do anything with that, attach whatever you want into it, or just rest the wood on top of it and screw in or glue in, and then that's taking most of your weight. And then put a face frame over it, paint it. No one would ever really know it's there. So there you go. I hope you found that vaguely useful. Just a couple of ideas, really. I'm not saying that that is the definitive way of doing it. I'm just saying here are a couple of ways that I would choose to overcome that problem with angled alcoves. There are other ways of doing it. There are shelf brackets that are specifically designed for angled alcoves. But again, you've got the problem that effectively, because you're going into a ceiling, you're going to be limited on what sort of loads you can put on those shelves. With the way that I've talked about here, these shelves will be as strong as any other shelf, because you're spreading the load out over the entire ceiling area. You're not just putting a point load on 2 little screws going into effectively a ceiling. There you go. I hope if you've got any other better ideas of how to do them, please pop them in the comments below. So thank you for watching, and I might get a video out next week, I'm not sure. I've got another big edit that I'm in the middle of doing, as I say, and I've got a couple of other videos that I want to get done. There will be a few more test videos coming out very soon as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is the first video that you've watched of mine. Many more tip videos coming your way very soon. See you at some point, maybe next week.